Welcome to Educados, the typical Ricados of being an Educados. Today, we will talk about episode 3, where each of the guests will share their thoughts and opinions on their observation. Have a nice day and happy listening!
Hello, hello, hello! We are back again for another episode of Educados, the typical Ricados of being an educator, where we talk mostly about the typical stuff that we encounter as we pursue teacher education. Once again, I am Kyla and together with Ma'am Rhea, Sir Rance, and Sir Paul, solusyonan natin yung edu props nyo. Char, but no char. So today is one of our weekly special episodes where we'd be responding to your requests or messages. So what do we have for today, Ma'am Rhea?
We have here a message from Educado po ako. Good day, Educados. I am Ada. In our field study, we were tasked to observe a specific student in a class. We will be observing their behaviors using an Ericksonian guide questions. The problem is, we will be the one to create or research an Ericksonian guide questions. Can you suggest questions that I should consider or should be included in my observation guide questions? Salamat po and more power to the team.
Yes, thank you. So, Ada, I guess in this kind of problem, expert si Sir Rance nito, kaya tanungin natin siya. Sir, what questions should be included daw in her observation guide questions, which should also be based on Erickson's theory?
Very timely and questionable, Ada. We just finished this task last week. Actually, we were introduced to the Ericksonian observation. It is an observation guided with questions that are patterned from the psychosocial development theory of Erik Erikson. So take note of this question that you should be considering. First, you need to observe if the students trust easily or not. So the questions number 1, does the student trust easily? If yes, why? If no, then why does the students find it difficult to trust? Ada, I'm gonna show you why this question should be included through asking my team the results of their observations last week. So Sir Paul, during your observations, using the Ericksonian observation, does your student trust easily?
Yes, she trusts easily because she never sees the bad in people. Something like she believes that anyone else is not a bad person. And she always thinks that I trust her or him, so it depends on her or him on how to handle it. And that's it.
How about you, Ma'am Kyla?
No, unlike Sir Paul's student, the student I was observing does not trust easily. She definitely has trust issues. It is evident when she's talking with her peers, it usually took her a while to say something when she's asked. It would look like she's thinking if it is safe to say ba whatever she's going to say. It is also evident in the way she handles group tasks. She usually takes all the responsibilities and more often than not, she doesn't accept help from her group mates or even from other people in non-academic aspects.
Second question, Ada. Is your students dominantly reckless or cautious? Either way, why do you think so? Let us ask Ma'am Rhea. How was the student you were observing, Ma'am?
Actually, the student I was observing was dominantly cautious because she thinks of the possible consequences of the action she will be made, and also she was careful in making plans and decisions in life.
Thank you for that, Ma'am Rhea. Actually, in my own observation, my student is opposite to Ma'am Rhea's because she is dominantly reckless. On what I observe, she is a risk taker. She always makes decisions without forecasting and knowing what will be the cost. Most of her decisions are not acceptable because when she is in the tight spot, she is just going to say, "Bahala na," or this will affect her actions and leading into another mistakes. When she knows that she is wrong, she will not accept it immediately, but you just need to give her more time to let her realize that what he did is wrong. She won't listen on the advices that people who is closer to her. She is thinking that on what on her mind, it should be the one that will be followed. This kind of child must be dealt with care and with not anger. Because if we let anger eat our emotions, no arguments can be solved. We're just simply adding another problem if we let anger eat us.
So obviously we have different observations and reasons why we see our student as what it is. Moving on to the third question, you should ask yourself when observing, does the student have too much self-preservation? Please take note of that question, Ada. I hope you are listening right now because I would take this moment to ask Sir Paul regarding his observations. Sir Paul, does your student have too much self-preservation?
No, because she is open with others. And I observe she likes to socialize and accept little things from her parents and peers. And she maintains a healthy relationship with others.
Thank you, Sir Paul. So next question, the fourth question. How do you describe your student's sense of responsibility? This kind of question is important because it reveals a lot on the progress of their development. So for example, with the student that I was observing, I would say her sense of responsibility is above average because despite her age, she was actually allowed by her parents to go to a boarding school, and upon observing her, she knows her priorities and she diligently follows it. For instance, when she was asked by her roommates to go for a walk during school events, she would rather say no because she preferred to do her laundry or study in advance. So how about yours, Ma'am Ria?
Her sense of responsibility is average. Even though she does not attain full responsibility of taking care of herself, she did her best in her studies while having a part-time job.
Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Ria. So next question, the fifth one. Does your student easily get attached to people? How about your student, Sir Rance? What can you say?
She gets easily attached to people, as what I observe. When she is still a child, she is far from her family. She lived in her auntie at a long time. This factor has a big impact on what she is right now. Every one of us has its own childhood experiences that will affect our current self. As what I said, those missing attention that she needed when she is still a child, she is finding it with someone. That is why she have a lot of ex-boyfriend. This is the basis why I can say that she is easily to get attached with people. As we know that we are showing more affections with our lovers and sometimes with our friends. She also have a lot of close friends where I can say that she can trust them. There is no problem if we are to easily get attached, but we need to choose who among them we should be attached to.
Well, unlike Sir Rance, my student is different. She doesn't have attachment issues, but she does not easily get attached to people. She does not get easily comfortable with other people. She's very keen in choosing her peers to hang out with. It is actually evident in who she prefers to talk with and eat with, and she enjoys being by herself despite having a lot of peers. But anyways, let's move on. For the 6th and 7th, this another two is not a question, but this is also important to include. Well, ano po ba ito? Well, you have to rate, 10 being the highest, as to how far your student knows himself or herself and how serious he or she in terms of accomplishments. And of course, you need to justify your rating. Let's ask Sir Paul. Sir, how was your rate on your student in these two aspects during your observations last week?
The highest rate I will give in how far she knows herself is 9 because, as I noticed, she was not having a second guess. She tended to have clear and direct decisions. In other words, she knows what she wants or needs for herself, even in the small details. And next, I rated her 8 in how serious she is in terms of accomplishment because I do not have full knowledge of her definition of accomplishing. But I observe her academically. She is striving because she wants an accomplishment at school. And I guess this makes her proceed with her other interests in life.
Thank you, Sir Paul. Ada, the last and most important question would be, does your student think his or her generation is better compared to the past generation? Let's have Ma'am Ria to answer this based on her observations last week.
No, because she was not comparing the generation before and now. She does not care about the past. What she was focusing on is the present.
That would be all the guides that you should consider to include in your observation guide, Ada. And for the other Adas out there who also have the same problem, ito na ang solusyon sa problema mo. Kaya stream na sa Educados, the typical Ricardos of being an educator on Spotify.
So we will end here our episode for today. I hope we gave you a substantial and overall satisfying content today. For more of our contents, just follow our podcast on Spotify and add our episodes on your playlist if you want. If not, edi don't. Char. So once again, this is Kyla signing off.
This is Sir Rance signing off.
Sir Paul, everyone, signing off.
Thank you, dear listeners. This is Ma'am Ria signing off.